From the culture of the American South, where roots hold stories, comes a natural deodorant inspired by generations of wisdom. Introducing Rootwork, the all-natural foundational Black American-based deodorant infused with the magic of High John the Conqueror root. Our unique blend enriched with this legendary root offers 24-hour protection, rooted in the power of nature. Embrace this deodorant that celebrates culture, history, and your well-being. Unlock the magic of Rootwork today. Experience the pure essence of nature. Visit rootworkstyle.com and make the switch to a healthier, cultural choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this fine afternoon, how are you guys living? What time is it? I don't even know what time it is right now. What's going on with y'all, man? Hope everybody's having a good morning wherever you are. What time is it out there in LA and New York right now? I don't know. I'm in a whole different time zone. I don't know if I should say morning, afternoon, or whatever. But how y'all doing, man? Glad to have everybody tuning in. Everybody give us a nice retweet to let folks know that we're live right now and everything like that. I'm somewhere very exotic right now, but I'm chopping it up with the family. I'm in a different time zone. It's a whole different day over here where I am. But I'm here with the family. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are about to bring in the new year with a bang. That's why I'm vacationing now. When I come back, I'm hitting the new year with a bang. I'm getting all of my energy ready. So when the new year comes, I'm coming in with a bang. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to be knocking out for the new year. And hope you guys are getting your new year resolutions together. That's why y'all need to get some rest on these last couple of days so you can stomp down in that new year. We got a lot of work to do out here. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're going to take some calls in a second, but I do want to address some stuff that's coming out of Chicago. Y'all know the Chicago mayor. I can't think of his name and don't care. But the Chicago mayor is talking about they want to get some kind of reparations to reduce crime. They're using our words. They're taking our words. They know what we want, and we're saying reparations. So they're doing the old Democrat bait and switch by using the word reparations and tying it on to all of these arbitrary things. This is why it's up to us to stay on our square to let people know what reparations mean. People want to get real dumb when it comes to reparations. That's why they got all these committees and all of these study groups to figure out what does reparations mean. Reparations is one thing only. We haven't wavered from it. That is cash payments to foundational Black Americans who descended from slaves, from freedmen, however you want to word that. However you want to word it. We can word it with freedmen. We can say descendants of slaves. We can say foundational Black Americans. Doesn't matter. All of them are the same thing. And we have to learn how to word things accordingly in the correct settings. See, that's about codification. Words matter. Black people have to learn how to weaponize these words and use these words to our advantage. Our good brother Neely Fuller talks about the importance of words. The white supremacists, they like to badger you over the head with words. They are word masters. We have to learn how to master words and use certain words in certain arenas that work for us. That's why our brother Neely Fuller has a word guide. The way we use words are very important because it's based on codification. Now, when we're in a cultural setting, we're talking about the culture. We're talking about foundational Black American culture. That gets us culturally codified. When we're talking about something in a legal sense where bringing up actual race might undermine the agenda, Then we bring up a status like freedman. See, we got to know how to use certain things in a courtroom and in a legal setting. Then you bring up the freedman thing. And when it comes to documenting certain things about our lineage, we can say descendants of slaves. See, we can mix these things up. I don't like when niggas want to get on this whole tribal thing with the words. And then niggas be on some, well, I came up with this first. Well, I did this. Get the fuck out of here with all of that nonsense. We don't have time for that goofball shit. Niggas out here want participation trophies for thinking they came up with a term. And no, we ain't got time for that. And then people want to play these little high school games because they've never got no attention. And it's like, look at me, look what I did. We don't have time for that, man. We got to be focused on shit out here, because the dominant society, they're getting our words and then they're remixing them for their own purposes. Now, going back to Chicago, and out here in Chicago, the mayor is talking about reducing crime and having a reparations program and programs to help thwart crime in Chicago. That's not reparation. That ain't got nothing to do with no damn reparations. They're just using the terms that we're bringing forth, and then they're trying to tack it on to some other shit. The reality is, a lot of the crime that's going on in Chicago now, especially within the last year, a lot of that is coming in from these damn illegal immigrants that they're bringing in. A lot of these, quote, migrants that they're bringing in. That's why there's a big spike in crime all over the country. You notice a lot of these places where they're allowing these groups to come in and they're not vetting them at all. The spikes of crime is enormous. They're letting people over here from all over the place, and they're not vetting any of them. They're just letting them over here, and all types of criminals and rapists and all types of weird people are coming over. So yeah, there's a crime spike. That's where the crime is, and that's where they want the money to go. You see, we got to understand that game. They know this. See, this is the old bait and switch where they say they're going to do things for us, but it's really meant for other groups. They say, well, you know what? We hear you, black people. We're listening and we hear you want reparations. So we're going to have reparations to reduce crime. So we got some of our tax dollars going to be allocated to this reparations crime committee right here. So we got $500,000 going there, and then another $1 million going here to this reparations crime situation thing. And then what happens is those resources go to these damn illegal immigrants. All right. That reparations crime committee money goes to these illegal immigrants to stop them from committing crimes and to get them a leg up, because they're already getting all types of resources as we talk now. Out in California, they just made it so that illegal immigrants can get free health care now. Do y'all know that? They just passed that. Gavin Newsom just passed that. Illegal immigrants, you come over here across the border, free health care. Boom. No study, no committee, nothing. You get free health care. And black people, man, if we get a toothache, we need a tooth pulled. Boy, we got to jump through damn hoops in California. We got to go through all types of red tape just to get basic shit. And then end up getting kicked off of it. We try to get our covered California benefits or whatever and find out, oops, they didn't kick you off for some reason. So we got to start paying out of pocket. These other groups come over here and get all types of benefits off of our tax dollars, and then turn around and we start hearing about how well the immigrant groups are doing over us, like they came over and got it from the mud. No, they didn't. These people are being elevated. These people are being funded. These people are being invited. They're being brought over here and they're given the red carpet treatment over us. We have to acknowledge that, and we have to not accept that. We have to say enough is enough, and enough of us are doing that. So we got to understand the game out here. And this is why it's very important for us to understand that codification also means not only codifying your ideologies, we have to be codified financially. We have to be codified as far as stacking and building resources. Then we got to have the right people around. That's why it's important for us to delineate from a lot of people who want to scam and run con games and project their scams on us. You understand? That's why delineation is very important, because we have a lot of these groups who come among us projecting their scam mentality onto us and trying to undermine our financial efforts. We got to understand that's coming from the outside as well. We got to understand that part of the game. We got a lot of folks in here already. Shout out to everybody that's in here. I see Nikki the God here. Shout out to you guys. I'm gonna get some calls in a minute, but it's very important, family, that we understand the importance of nation building. We have to have a nation building mindset. And unfortunately, that scares a lot of people. When we start talking about building a nation, building a community, we got to understand what the threats to those community are. We have to understand that the dominant society oftentimes sets a lot of traps. That's why when black folks get around and start talking about, man, ain't no racism, let's leave these white people alone. Ain't these white people ain't hurting us. All we need to do, we need to get ourselves together and stop all this crime, and we need to do this. Man, you better understand the threat that comes with us building things. There is an outside threat that orchestrates a lot of the chaos and a lot of the undermining. If you do not acknowledge that, you're always, always, always going to fail. That's why we always fail in many endeavors, because we don't acknowledge the external threat that caused the undermining in the first place. We have a very bad habit of doing that. We always try to ignore the anti-black racism aspect as a way to kind of bury our heads. A lot of the negative things within black society was orchestrated by outsiders. That's a fact. And our good brother and our good sister, Neely Fuller and Dr. Welsing, said, if you don't understand everything about white supremacy, how it works, everything else is going to confuse you. And we are very confused because we don't put things in that right context. We try to ignore what they orchestrate. I'm telling you, all of the negative stuff that you see that's pertaining to black society, that's them orchestrating that. When you see a big back hood rat twerking somewhere on social media or a music video or whatever, that's orchestrated. Who put them on there? Who boosted those social media channels? I want y'all to understand something else too. The stuff you see on social media, these people behind the scenes, they boost that stuff. Family, you notice sometimes you scrolling down your Twitter timeline and you just see some weird stuff that, like, what is this? I don't even subscribe to this channel. Why am I seeing this? You understand? You're just scrolling down Twitter, you see some big back and a ashy ass just a popping away. I'm like, oh, what is this? I don't subscribe to this channel. The hell am I seeing this? Or some moist nigga doing a split? Oh, who's this? You see some dusty hood fight. What is this? I'm not following none of these people. Why is this on my timeline? You understand? You see random ratchetness pop up when you go to YouTube and you look at the right side of the video. There's all types of ratchetness and debauchery and gossip and nonsense on there that you didn't subscribe to. Like, why am I getting these notifications? Why am I getting these recommendations? All of the recommendations are ratchet, but a lot of the knowledge, a lot of the stuff that's going to be constructive, it's shadow banned. A lot of our stuff is shadow banned on YouTube. People have to search our stuff, and I still do good numbers, even though we are de facto shadow banned. People have to search our stuff. It's amazing that we do the numbers that we do, but you never see anything promoted just randomly that's really constructive. You got to dig for it. And even if you look for it, the names don't often pop up. You got to keep searching and searching and searching. You got to really dig for something constructive. but ratchetness, gossip. And I'm so sick of this gossipy ass stuff that we got on YouTube. There's so many gossipy channels, and many of them run by tethers. Let's keep it a buck. But I'm that gossipy ass stuff. That ain't my cup of tea. You understand? But we got to understand how the game is out here and what's promoted to us by the dominant society. That stuff is boosted and elevated by people behind the scenes. Milan, I can't pronounce your name, so
Melonius Monk out of Chicago, South Side. How you feeling,
my
Tariq?
man, what's going on out there in Chicago, brother?
It's a lot. Um, I want to touch just on a few, general things, and we had to look at this in a historical context. They don't want to occur what happened with Black Reconstruction, with the Civil Rights period in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and early 70s. They're flooding the zone, as we all know, and right now we have this new little COINTELPRO going on. It's the way that we're being shown in the media, especially to these newcomers. It's to pretty much erase the fact of our effect and our lineage and the legal, political, and cultural aspect in the United States so that we can be disinherited in every way.
Yeah,
And in every activity that we do, like Neely Fuller says, it has to be intentional. So until we can think and act on that level and be on code together, it's going to be confusion. And
yeah,
what we're doing right now, like what you've been doing, we have a lot of other people, our brothers and sisters. They've been putting in work, and the tides are definitely turning. And we see it because the immigrants, the tethers, and the white people, they are enraged and they're just tripping out like bad. It's when we see how illogical and emotional they react to things. It is that means it's peak value success.
yeah,
But yeah, in Chicago, it's a shit show, man. It's a shit show. You have Venezuelans on every corner. Um, a lot of the women, you see more women than men um, alone, actually. I rarely see the women and men together. And I see a lot of women with a lot of kids. And
mm,
they're going all throughout the city, like the Red Line, downtown, South Side. They're going all the city. They're on State Street, the Magnificent Mile, just begging, selling candies, all kinds of stuff. And that I don't think there's going to be any end to it. The mayor we saw, he's trying to get more federal funding, and like you said, this is their game plan. They're going to say, okay, we're going to do this for Black folk, but on the flip side, it's actually going to relieve what's been occurring with the new migrants. So
right,
it's
right,
always going to be that kind of switch play. Um, we'll see how it ends. I mean, the new mayor, he's not coming back. The next mayor is probably going to be Republican. He'll probably do the exact same thing, but just give a stronger appearance of being against it, like what Trump with immigration. So
right,
we're
right.
going to see what happens. But all we need to do is, like everybody says, we got to worry about ourselves, get our pockets together, and move accordingly. So I'm gonna end it there.
Real. Thank you so much, brother. Real talk, man. Real talk, family. We gotta really remain on code. So we're getting on code. And I'm taking my hat off and commending us for being as codified as we've been. And the reason why we've been as codified as we've been in a long time is because we've centered ourselves around our lineage. That was very important in the dominant society. They weren't expecting that. We've centered ourselves around our lineage here, and that was very important. I was telling people, man, it's very important to understand who you are culturally. Once you have your culture together, once you have a clear and understanding view of what your culture is and who you are, everything else is going to fall right into place. And we're doing that right now. And we have to remain on that. And we have to get rid of some of the mindsets that's been implanted in us. Our brother made a good point on the call, how they create these programs and they make it seem like that this is for black folks. Hey, we hear you, black folks. We're doing things for the black community, and then they switch it and flip it and give it to those immigrant groups to help them, just like they did with the whole ID thing. They were talking to black people, talking about, hey, black people, the Republicans are trying to make voter IDs, and they're trying to make it hard for black folks to get IDs. This is going to harm the black community if they're going to make you do all this stuff to get an ID, because this is going to thwart you from voting. This is like Selma all over again. Remember that? And we're like, no, no, we good. We can vote. We don't have a problem getting an ID. No, no, no. It's elderly black people who have a problem going to get an ID. No, 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 no. No, old black people keep some damn identification. Don't get the fuck out of here. I don't know where y'all get that lie from. Old black people got all types of identification. Nigga, have you been to the home of an old foundational black American? They got all types of damn World War I IDs, civil rights papers, birth certificates. Go look under the mattress of an old FBA person. They have no problem with identification. They got war records, medical records, tuberculosis shot records, polio vaccine records from the 1940s, nigga. Our grandparents and parents got all the documents they need. That's who we go to get our documents from, because we know they keep them. So yeah, we're not going for that. They sit up and say that the documentation that was going to harm us, but no, that was to get the immigrants to come over here to get IDs so they can hurry up and vote. That was for them. That was not for us. You understand? We got a lot of folks in here this morning. Let's get da-da-da. Let's get Delano. Let's get Delanton. Get Delanton in here. Delanton. Let's get Delanton.
Peace, peace, peace. How you doing, Tariq?
I'm good, brother. How are you,
I'm
sir?
good. I got 2 points. I was looking at this clip earlier today where Marshawn Lynch was at the stock exchange in New York City, and one of the
Yeah.
white dudes slipped up and said that America has $138 trillion in the stock exchange, but they tell us they don't
Mm,
got money for reparations though. And
mm,
that's crazy, right? And then the other point is the migrants that's coming here. I just was watching the news last night, and there's two different caravans of migrants coming here. One of them they said had 6,000 people in it, and another one started a few days ago, but now it's like 10,000 people. So that's like
wow.
16,000 people on their way here. And like you were saying in a previous space that you did, there's no way that they doing that without having help to be able to do that. You can't walk through jungles for miles and miles and miles without food and water and some type of shelter coming from
Yeah.
different countries to come up here. So the Democrats is definitely helping these people do that, and they are doing it to undermine us. And these people do got money for reparations. They just don't want to give it to us. That's all.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, man, we got to stay on our square. We have to let them know, hey, you're not going to play this game. You're not going to um, jerk us around and then want us to support you while you're supporting all of these non-citizens with our tax dollars. We just ain't going for it. And I don't know why black people think we have to go for bullshit. We don't. See, black people, we got to start shaking a lot of these ideologies that were placed in us. See, this thing where we're supposed to sacrifice our well-being for the betterment of other groups, that came from plantations, because that's what a slave did. A slave sat there and worked and sacrificed his well-being for the benefit and betterment of others. See, we got to shake that. Do y'all hear these people singing in the back? I'm on an island where they sing on. They got the ukuleles playing. They got it popping. But a caster. Oh, what a caster? Do you disagree, brother? We got our LGBT brother here. A caster. Do you disagree, sir? I see you giving the thumbs down. A caster. What do you disagree with, sir?
I don't disagree with nothing, brother. I just want everyone to know we need a modern day 2024 version of the Operation Wetback. And that's going to grassroots organizations where we all call 1866 DHS to ICE and we start reporting these goddamn illegal immigrants. They're bringing drugs and crime. They're undercutting black Americans. They all have at least 2, 3, or 4 different children. So, and before they should even enroll in any type of public schooling, you know how your kids have to show proof of vaccination? They should have to show proof of citizenship. No renting, no mortgages, no car loans, no nothing. So I'm advocating that all black Americans push for a 2024 Operation Wetback to cut down on this bullshit. Because in another generation, they're going to start keeping us out of jobs. They're going to hire their own, and they're going to say that you got to be bilingual. They don't want to employ people unless they're bilingual. This shit is getting fucking ridiculous.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Mr. Caster. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's getting real out here. But like I was saying, we got to get rid of the mindsets that was placed in us by the dominant society that we've adopted and subconsciously internalized. A lot of this negative ass thinking that we got, it was internalized from them. This whole thing where black progress and black success, that was looked at as a negative. That's always been looked at as a negative by the dominant society, especially black financial success. They always look at that as a negative. And when a lot of us are becoming successful, a lot of black folks start looking at that as a negative, especially when it's a black person who's successful independent of the dominant society. You see, whenever a black person is successful independently of the dominant society, they look at that as a negative. Now, if you're somebody who's you're a black person and somebody in the dominant society puts you on, that's fine. They have no problem with that. Like athletes or like an Oprah, they have no problem with that. With my daughter in the background, they have no problem with that. And black folks have no problem with that. Notice that? If there's a white person that says, hey, I co-sign this black person, hey, I co-sign this athlete, and I put this person on, then black folks won't have a problem with that person, as long as white people don't have a problem with them. But if white people have a problem with them, on a subconscious level, black people have a problem with them, even if the black person is helping black people. You notice that? We got to be real about certain things. When Malcolm X was alive, because white people had a problem with Malcolm X, a lot of black people had a problem with Malcolm X. I want y'all to be very clear. Malcolm X became a hero later, but when Malcolm X was alive, there were a lot of black people who had a problem with Malcolm X. There was a lot of Negroes bucking their eyes. You can go look up interviews of black folks cooning when it came to Malcolm X, when Malcolm X was alive. They would interview black folks, and you had niggas hopping on camera. Well, these Malcolm and them, they stirring up a lot of trouble. These white people, these is good white people. They just making something out of nothing out of here. Now Malcolm them gonna get us all in trouble. And niggas bucking their eyes. Same thing with Dr. King. Let's keep it a buck. There's video of Negroes in the 60s complaining about Dr. King, how he's stirring up trouble. You understand? We gotta understand that a lot of things that has been internalized, we got to get rid of it. And another thing, we got to get this whole thing of black people who are trying to bring knowledge to the black community. There's this weird requiring of them to take a vow of poverty. That whole bullshit. Let me be clear. I've never taken no vow of poverty. I want to be very clear. Me, I have never taken a vow of no fucking poverty. There's this whole thing, if a black person is so-called conscious or knowledgeable or woke, there's this thing where they're supposed to have this unwritten vow of poverty. Damn that. I want people to be clear. I have never taken a vow of poverty for nothing. We ain't supposed to take no vow of poverty just because we're knowledgeable. That's a horrible mindset that's been infused in us. We are foundational Black Americans. We got we created this thing from scratch, man. There's so many resources and opportunities that we've created that we have to take back. We have to start utilizing the opportunities that we're the ones who actually created. We've created so many industries and so many cultures, and we're supposed to take advantage of those things. This whole weird ass plantation vow of poverty that we're supposed to take whenever we do something successful. Hey, you know what? With all that money over there now. No, if y'all don't get the niggas, y'all don't get niggas away from us with that bullshit mentality. We supposed to be out here getting it like we're supposed to. You understand? We're supposed to be out here getting it like we're supposed to. Don't let niggas sit up here and give you that vow of poverty bullshit. Who is this Devo person? Oh, Devo Hopper. He's a. I see a whole bunch of foreign flags. You know, one of them. Devo. I was saying, who's giving the thumbs down to that? Then I saw a bunch of foreign flags. Okay, there it is. Okay, there you go. That makes sense. Okay, I'm like, who would give a thumbs down to that? A tether. Devo Hopper. And that's another problem, that those tethers come around us with that vow of poverty shit, that we're supposed to take a
Man,
vow of poverty.
fuck you, man. What are you talking
No,
about? All
no,
the time,
Ubuntu. You
all the
okay?
time, all
Ubuntu.
the
You watch
time.
that little Ubuntu. You first of all, you watch that little stinky mouth of yours. Watch that mouth. Now, how dare you sit up here and thumbs down success because you're a failure? Go ahead, sir. When you start talking about success,
All
boy,
the
the
time.
toughies get mad, don't they?
You bring racism to the African community all the time. All the time,
How
Tariq.
so?
All the time.
How so?
Your post.
How did I bring racism to somebody? How?
Look at your post. Look at your post.
It's
What are you
about
talking about,
reparations.
man?
That's what my post is. So what? How's that
Your
racist?
post is you say FBA better than all Africans. You crazy, man. You racist.
I didn't say that. When did I say that?
Yeah, you say that.
When
You
did I say
crazy,
that?
man. You not black. You not black, man.
When did I say FBAs were better than all Africans? That's you projecting. Do you feel that way?
This is what you say all the time. All the
No,
time.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
You're projecting and lying like a scammer, sir. That's what y'all do.
Fuck you, man.
Why do you have a scam mentality where you have to lie because you have no real facts, sir? You're lying, which is a stereotype. Why are you indulging in stereotypes about your culture, sir? Baba Tunde, hop on. Well, he left. Okay. He just came in, lied, and left. All right. Well, the minute we start talking about, hey, we need to relish in success and get off this vow of poverty, boy, they got real mad. That triggered him. What you mean, no poverty? What is wrong with poverty, nigga? How you gonna get mad at that? Lord, the minute we start talking about, hey, let's utilize the opportunities and be successful. Let's get our finances together. We're supposed to get our finances together. What is this shit you're talking, nigga? What do you mean success? This is this is a pipe dream, nigga. Lord, this dude actually got upset with that. Let's get an emperor's voice or emperor's choice, whatever your name is. Emperor, Mr. Emperor.
What's going on?
What's up, Mr. Emperor?
What's up, Tariq, man? This is Men's, man. That guy that asked you that question. Do you believe? A few months ago, I asked you a question about FBA and whether they believe or you believe they have African descent, and you answered honestly, and you clarified a lot. But welcome, or thank you for having me. I just wanted to talk on the
Okay.
topic, man. Reparations
Yeah.
stop crime. Yes, reparations would in fact stop crime. I mean, it's logical. Majority of crimes that are committed in the black community are blue collar crimes, and it's based on the status, or the condition of poverty. With reparations, we could build our own institutions and rehabilitate people who do have issues or have suffered from the traumatization of living in this in the society where they've been deprived and isolated and misled and devalued and so forth from just.
All right, thank you, brother. Yeah, brother. That the point. I think you missed the initial point. What they're doing in Chicago, as it relates to reparations and crime, it's not what you're saying it is. That's something different. Now, from a secondary standpoint, reparations can thwart crime and all of that. It can alleviate a lot of criminality. But what they're doing in Chicago is different. They're trying to turn some kind of crime deterrent program into a reparations program, and that's going to be for everybody. So yeah, so I feel what you're saying, but it doesn't relate to what's going on in Chicago. So we got to be very clear. So we can see we got to understand what's really being done, so we don't get led down the wrong path. Okay, that Nika hop
I
on.
appreciate you for pronouncing that right, bro.
Right,
What's up, man? I was just gonna say, like, you right about the you don't have to be poor to like really put that work in. It's like I think people got that shit confused when they were saying like, well, this activist was poor, that activist was poor, and it's not the point is not that you don't have, you supposed to be poor to do work. The point is that sometimes the reward for doing the work don't necessarily be money. You can still make money and still have the bread, but sometimes the reward is not monetary. If we can like make this shit look cleaner outside, or have our community thriving, but maybe I'm not making all the money off the community, but everybody in the community is making money. So it's not, the reward is not always money, but that don't mean be broke. That's a
right,
great point you said, bro. Niggas take that shit the wrong way, bro. They be on that other
right,
shit. And I just
right.
had one question for you kick.
Okay, shit, I took you off the thing. I get you back in a second. But yeah, look, a lot of our scholar warriors, man, a lot of our people who are scholars, man, they died broke, and that ain't no good look. That ain't a good look at all, especially with all of the knowledge that they brought in the dominant white society. The people with the knowledge, boy, they make sure they're papered up. They have these think tanks where they give millions and millions and millions of dollars to the thinkers of their community, because that will incentivize other thinkers. You notice in our society, the thinking class, they don't get papered up like that. And if they do, they take them away from black society. So if we have a genius within black society, either white society is going to take them and isolate them and turn them into a coon, like the Thomas Sowells of the world. He's a very smart man, but they done coonified him. You got to get them away from black society, and not only away from black society, you got to get them to demonize black society. You understand? You got to get the black intellectual class and then boule them up, and then have them actually work against the black community. And those who do work for the black community, there's this whole thing where it's a labor of love. Look at some of our scholar warriors, man, who left us with nothing, damn near. So many of them, and that's not a good look, because a cat who's intellectual, like, here, why should I do all that? Because I don't want to take a vow of poverty. I got bills to pay. I want to live a life. I don't want to get all of this knowledge and share all this knowledge, and you know, then I can't rub two nickels together. There's no, people want to do what they're incentivized to do. You understand? We have to put success on knowledge. That's what I've done. That's what I've been wanting to do. That's why taking the knowledge, and a lot of people accredit me for this. A lot of this, the consciousness, I brought that stuff mainstream. This stuff wasn't on majors. This wasn't on movie screens around the world. I took a lot of that knowledge that was taught in basements and on the underground, and put that shit on movie theaters and movie screens all around the world. I said, hey man, some of these scholars that we've known on the underground sector, that shouldn't be something underground. That shouldn't be some shit where we're watching them on grainy videotapes doing lectures and boiler rooms. No, we need to bring that on out. That's where the woke movement came from. We did that with the hidden colors thing, man. We had to mainstream this stuff. That's going to incentivize others. When we mainstream it and make it fly, put that into the popular lexicon of society, bring that above ground, and that's going to incentivize others. There's nothing wrong with that. And we need to do more of that.
Okay,
Devo, what's up,
okay.
man?
You make good point here. Okay, you make good point. But I want to ask you, what do you mean when you say tether? Tether.
Tether.
What
That
is a
means
tether?
tether. That means y'all who come over here and try to tether onto us, tether onto our achievements, but secretly try to undermine us. That's what a tether is. Now, Devo, are you?
No one tried to undermine you.
Oh,
You
y'all
try
do.
undermine us.
How do we undermine you?
You call it tether, tether. It's like me calling you a nigga. It's like no. It's like
But we're
a
both
bad.
niggas, if that's the case. But we're both niggas, but only one is a tether. I'm not a tether.
We both tethers. We both
No, we're
tethers.
not. No, we're not, because I'm
You
not
are
over there
tethered.
trying to. I'm not over there in your homeland trying to eat off you. So I'm not a tether.
What is Econ doing?
What is Akon doing? Tethering? Tether? He's one
In
of you.
Africa.
Akon is not one of us.
No.
Boy, you got confused, brother.
When Econ was successful, you say he was Black American. Now he an African,
I
no?
ain't never said that. I ain't never said that. Akon is not Black American. He's not a foundational Black American. He's an immigrant. He was he. I think they anchored him here. I think he was born here, but no, he's non FBA. And no disrespect to Akon. I don't have a problem with it.
What is explain to me what is FBA like FBA?
That means a non-immigrant. I'm
If I go to America like tomorrow, is my kid gonna be FBA?
no. How are you going to be a foundational Black American and you're not foundational to this land? How does that work? Babatunde.
Same way you go.
That makes no sense, sir. I'm not an immigrant. Nobody in my family is an immigrant.
Same way European go. They're not American. You are not American.
What am
You
I?
are African. They are European.
Sir, everybody comes from Africa at one point. If I'm African, what nation can I go to and get citizenship for free? Hello?
Country accept you. I don't know.
You don't know, and I don't know either. None. I got to go over there with a bag. So I'm a
Did
foundational
you
Black American,
apply?
sir.
Did you
Sir,
apply?
sir, ain't nobody offering me to apply. So don't say I'm African and none of these African nations are giving me free citizenship. And I have asked. I've asked Zimbabwe. I've asked South Africa. I've asked for dual citizenship in several African nations, and nobody's biting. So I'm a foundational Black American. Ain't nobody inviting me or us over there with no red tape, no bullshit. So yeah, I don't. Y'all ain't claiming me. I ain't claiming you.
I have no problem with you or FBA, but when I see your post, you are like racist against Africans. Racist.
How so?
I don't
How
like
am I
it, man.
racist?
I don't
We're
like
the
it.
same. We're the same race. How am I racist against other Black
Yeah.
people? We're all Black, but
You
I'm a
call me a
foundational Black
Peter. You
American.
call me Tether.
That's not about race. That's
So
about
you post images. All your followers they post the worst things.
sir. Sir, you guys are more divisive over there and tribal over there. Are you racist towards each other?
You cannot be racist.
How
It's
so?
not race. It's a tribe.
Well, same thing with
You
us. It's
mix it
not
up. You
race.
mix it up.
Now, how
Yeah,
is it racist with us? It's a tribal thing too. We're a different tribe,
you call us Africans like it's a bad thing.
and you call us
But you
akatas,
are Africans.
and you call us akatas, right? Why do you call us akatas?
You
Huh?
don't speak the nonsense, man.
No, why do y'all call us Akatas? If we're so African like you,
You call us Tede, eh?
or why do you call us Akatas? And you make it a point to call us Akatas, that we're
I don't
different.
call you that. I don't call you that.
But your people do, sir. Over there in West Africa, it's very well known that you
But I
call us
don't.
Akatas. Why do
Call
your
me
people
Tede.
call us Akatas?
I don't call you. I don't call you that. You
Okay,
call
you're
me
playing
that.
Babatunde. You're playing dumb, sir. Why are you playing dumb? Devo? All right, Devo. Thank you so much. It's enough playing dumb. All right. So I'll let them talk. See, people think I cut the tethers off. No, no, you let them talk, and it's a bunch of babbling about nothing. All right. They're mad and they're upset because we're not allowing them to sit up calling us akatas and all of this nonsense, and we're delineating from that nonsense. You're African. No, no, don't tell me I'm African, and none of these African nations are inviting us over there for citizenship. I don't have citizenship in no African nation over there. None. And nobody's inviting us to get citizenship unless we go over there and give them our bank account numbers. I am a foundational Black American, sir. I ain't got no problem with being a foundational Black American. All right, let's get Hatham. What's up, Hatham? This looks like one of them troll accounts, but Hatham, hop on. What's up, Hatham? You want to turn your microphone on,
Eh,
sir?
Tariq, you're wrong.
What's going on, man?
You're wrong.
I could tell you can tell one of these troll accounts when somebody just by the goofiness and silliness of the profile picture. You can tell. Now, where you from, guy? I hear a weird accent. Where you from? Pakistan somewhere?
Don't worry, don't worry.
No, well, where you from? You one of these wannabe Anglos? Where you from, bro?
FBA.
Sir, can you get off your llama for a minute? Your llama's making you stutter. Now, where you from?
FBA.
Well, yeah, I know you want to be, but you're not, sir. And just saying it over and over is not going to make you FBA.
I am FBA. I'm descended to Will Smith.
No, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, no, no. No, sir. You're FBA, all right. That's falafels, baklava, and ass smell. All right. That's what FBA is.
You're booty scratching.
You smell like ass over there while you're eating baklava and falafels. All right.
I'm chilling with Will Smith, my daddy.
No, 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 no. You're not chilling with Will Smith. Yeah. You're chilling with Captain Phillips because you're probably Somali over there fishing off the coast, about to rob a ship or something. You all right, brother? You good?
What? FBA, FBA. I'm from FBA.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Watch out, sir. All right, let me get somebody here because your material is falling flat, sir. Okay, yeah, they're not witty. These are not witty people. Let's get Wam Wari in here. Wam Wari. All right, Wam Wari, hop on. Wam Wari, hop on. All right. This Wam Wari person is not doing anything. Let's see. Let's get hold on. Let's see how many people in here. We got a lot of people in here. Let me see. Um, um, let's get this person. Let's get Shabaka Shabazz. Shabaka Shabazz in here. Shabaka. All right, Shabaka. Wamwari, Shabaka. Y'all want to turn your microphones on?
Hey, Tariq, can I be heard?
There you go. Yes, sir. What's going on?
How you doing? Yes, I had a question about reparations. Now, I personally have nothing to gain from reparations because I am admittedly a first generation Nigerian immigrant born
Yeah.
in the States. Um, but I wanted to know, like, do you have a specific timetable for? I'm in full support of reparations, by the way. You know, but like I wanted to know, do you think do Foundation Black Americans have a specific timetable for when they believe that they could receive reparations? Because um, the Democrats, they have their own plans to counter foundational Black Americans get reparations, flooding the zone with all these immigrants, and just basically ignoring, all of their pleas for, reparative justice in all of its forms. And I just see them continuing to do this going into the future. I don't think us voting out Biden or voting Trump back in is going to fix that. So, like, do you know what the timetable will be to get reparations?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We don't know the timetable, but the thing is, we got time to, they want to play chicken with this, and we got time. We're not going to let them detour us from what we're trying to do. And, you know, this is an election cycle, and we'll let them crash and burn if need be. So there's no specific timetable. We're grinding and we're trying to get what we're trying to get. Uh, um, okay, who is this person here? Okay, you want to get back on? You Juan something. Juan something.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
All right. Okay, your phone straight? You got your phone
Yeah, it's
together?
working now. Yeah, I was saying
There you
we
go.
go way back when you started activism, and I'm glad to see you growing big. Thank you, man, that you doing what you need to do to be relevant and also inspire the American dream. I wanna invite you that I'll give you citizenship in Zimbabwe when I become president. I'll be running for 2028. However, the government there is despotic. So I'm going to need your help to push for democratic processes and help Zimbabwe to at least recognize the rule of law. So that's the first step. I got some petitions I'm pushing through, which are very democratic processes to help, give us
So you're going to be running for president of Zimbabwe.
definitely 2028 under Zimbabwe Economic Movement.
Okay, now here's the thing. So you're running for president. I'm looking at your page right now. You're surrounded by white women. So what are we doing here? So you're going to be the president, and are you going to ship in more white women? What's that about? You got
No,
white
I
women.
I run. You remember my old business back in the day, Divine Rags clothing store. So those are models, and I run that business online and other facilities here in Tennessee. So that's just my modeling day. That day we're shopping a lot and we're selling clothes a lot. So it's just a business. It's
Oh,
at the green.
okay, okay, all right. Because we don't want you to be the king of coons. We don't want you to, you become president and then you start importing white women, and that's going to lead us right back to square one. We're not going to have anything going with that. Let's get Wild Bill in here. Wild Bill.
Oh, yes. Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Bill. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Bill. Now, where are you from? Is that an Australian accent or
Yeah, I'm from New
Europe?
Zealand, but I'm living in San Francisco currently.
Oh, cool. I'm not too far from New Zealand where I am now. I'm visiting somewhere
Oh,
not too far
nice.
from New Zealand. Yes, indeed. So, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I saw your space. I wanted to say a few things. Um, uh, I had a few questions and maybe a, opinion I'd like to give. Uh,
Yes, go ahead.
First of all, I wanna get your take on, do you think reparations would stop crime?
Well, the thing is, it could deter crime, but the objective isn't to stop crime. That's not what reparations is for. Reparations is to compensate for a wrong that was done. We're owed reparations for something that was done historically and systematically. All right. So that's the important thing to know. It's something that we're owed already. So what we do with the reparations, that's what we do with it. But nobody asks if the payments that Native Americans get, is that going to stop criminality among Native American tribes? Nobody asks that. You give them what's owed. Same thing with us. We need what's owed. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think the point of reparations is, to like give back, for the atrocities that were committed against Black people. I do agree, but unfortunately, whether you like it or not, many Black people in America are like, not too financially literate. So, maybe they get the reparations, but they spend the money improperly, buy like stuff like Cadillacs and Jordans and
What,
stuff like that, right?
and what's wrong with that?
Me personally, looking at it from an objective point of view, I think that go to waste, right?
No.
Why? You think
What's wrong
buying
with that?
Cadillacs?
What's wrong with a Black person getting a reparations check, buying a trough of Popeye's chicken,
Mm.
20 Cadillacs, and a bag of weed? What's wrong with that?
Nothing,
Seriously.
nothing
Nothing.
serious. Okay,
Nothing.
but nothing's wrong with
Nothing.
it, but it would just go
Nothing.
down the drain, though, right?
How? What drain? No, because that's going to fuel the Cadillac economy. At least the Cadillacs are made in Detroit still. I think they are.
Okay,
So
you can drive a Cadillac in an impoverished
him by
neighborhood,
right.
So
And the Cadillac,
get
that's going to go into the Cadillac industry. So that's going to
yeah,
help fuel some workers here in the United States. If they buy some Popeye's chicken, whatever
yeah,
stereotype you throw, that's going to help the Popeye's chicken workers here in the United States. That money's not going to go outside the country. So the Cadillac and
yes.
the Popeye's chicken, that's going to help stimulate the American economy. So it's not going to go to waste. So I want them to buy Cadillacs and Popeye's chicken, sir, and Jordans. That's going to stimulate Michael Jordan's economy because he's a
Yeah.
foundational Black American. Let them buy Jordans. Let them
Yeah,
buy Jordans.
yeah, I think you're getting a bit emotional, right? I was
I'm not.
just,
No. I'm not. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with if a Black person wants to buy Jordans, Cadillacs, and fried chicken. There's nothing wrong with that. But go ahead.
yeah, there isn't anything wrong with it, but I think, the point of reparations is to get, Black people to, better themselves, use
No,
the money
the point
wisely.
but no. The point is to give us what's owed. That's the
Yeah,
point.
you're
Yeah, because
owed, but you're just gonna be driving Cadillacs around the hood. Like, is that what you want to do? You want to eat fried chicken, Popeyes, like you said in the hood? You want to
yes,
continue doing it?
yeah, I do. I want to drive around in nice cars and eat chicken. There's nothing wrong with that. There's
All right,
absolutely nothing
yeah,
wrong with that.
this is like different mindsets. I don't think we quite understand each other, right?
No, we do because y'all have these weird stereotypes, and ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody driving around in a nice car eating some fried chicken. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. With reparations money that's owed to them, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there isn't anything wrong with it. I never said there was,
But,
anything wrong
but,
with it, but I
but
think
you
it'd be
said
more
it would be a
beneficial
waste. You said it
if
would.
you learn how to use your money more properly.
You said it would be a waste. How is that going to be a waste, sir? And also talking about using money properly. Um, shit. So you're from New Zealand?
Yes, yes.
Yes, indeed. Um, why did your family leave New Zealand?
No, my family never left. I'm here, on a job contract.
Yes. Now, the people of New Zealand, some of them, are you a part of the European part or the Aboriginal part of New Zealand? Are
Of
you a part of
course.
which one?
Me personally, I kind of view New Zealand as all as one, but I'm of European descent. Yes,
No. It's not all one because some of the Aboriginal New Zealanders are colonized by the British. So which one are you? You either the victimizer or the victim. Which one are you a descendant of?
I wouldn't say I'm a victimizer, but I'm of European descent. Yes,
Right,
but
right.
let me ask you a question,
No,
right?
no,
Do you
no.
believe all
Slow down because
Americans are one?
oh no, because see, y'all go over there in New Zealand and you subjugated those people over there. You subjugated the shit out of the Aboriginal people over there, and then want to
That's
talk.
off.
You what?
I wouldn't say subjugation, right?
Well, how was it not subjugation?
They had their own bit of the island, and the island wasn't largely inhabited, right? We all
No,
came.
the Maori people were there, sir. There were people on that
Yeah, that
island,
was there, but not inhabiting the whole island, right?
but the inhabitable parts or the habitable parts, they were there. Some parts of those islands are inhabitable just because humans can't really kick it there like that. But the parts that were habitable, there were tribes there. The Maori tribe was there, and I've sat up and
Mm.
chopped up
The
game with
Yeah, the capital of New Zealand, Auckland, right? It
them.
was founded by Europeans. It's the biggest city in New Zealand currently, right? So it wasn't largely inhabited by these people. But let me
But they
ask you a question, since you don't think
no,
all New Zealanders are.
no. You just gonna lie and no. It was inhabited by people. It wasn't founded by them. They came and colonized the people. They came and colonized the people that were there. Those black-skinned, beautiful people who were there. They came and colonized them, sir. You see, you like to revise history in real time, and you're not going to do that. Go ahead.
Yes, as I said, Auckland was founded by Europeans, the biggest city in
Colonize.
New Zealand.
Well,
Now
no,
founded. Well,
colonize.
it's
What?
interchangeable. You say colonized, I say founded. It's
No,
just,
what's
we
not?
have two
But
different views.
no, it's not two different views. There were people there. They had their own society. The white supremacists came over. Your ancestors came over and said, "Hey, this is ours, and we're going to name it Upland." That's not founded. That's called colonizing. That's subjugating the people, sir. Right?
No, I don't think so. But
Well, that's some white not
let
say so. That's some white not say so, sir. So you're already coming
let's
at it
not
from a
let's not
color.
bring race into it, right? I think
Uh,
you're very
wait,
very.
but wait, you just said don't bring race into it, and you are the one talking about black people getting money and buying Cadillacs, and but not put race into it. You hopped on this phone talking about black people are gonna buy Cadillacs and drive around the hood, but don't bring race into it. See, y'all don't like when your stuff is put on the table, sir. That's what you don't like. You don't like when
No, the
your
thing
business.
is, you're talking about the founding of the city, right? And in
I'm
that
talking about
angle, we did found it.
the colonization of the city. That's what I'm talking about because the people already live there.
Well, the thing is, I gave you an example of European people coming into an uninhabited area and founding the largest city on the island. If
It
you want to
wasn't
cry about
uninhabited,
it, keep crying.
but it wasn't uninhabited. There were
The
people.
island that part wasn't. That part was
Yes, it
not
was.
inhabited. I don't know, I don't know what's so hard to understand about that.
It was inhabited. There were tribes of
How are
people.
you gonna tell me? How how are you gonna tell me? Have you ever been to New Zealand?
I've been close enough. I'm near there now. I'm in Fiji right. I'm in Fiji right now. Y'all did the same thing here, and
uh
and there's a whole bunch of you New Zealanders here in Fiji. I'm in Fiji now, and y'all did the
yeah,
same
we're having
shit
a
here.
vacation. I've been to Fiji.
Yeah, I know y'all have. And y'all did the same shit here with these beautiful black people in Fiji. You colonized them over here
Uh
too.
they're Austronesian. They're not really black.
Sir, these people are walking around here with afros, big lips, and big noses. They are very black. What are you talking about? These folks look like
Me
they
personally, I believe.
these people, sir, these people look like my cousins over here right now. Sir, what are you talking about? These are black folks over there. They have no problem with that either. Go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say that a white South African is more African than a new person from Fiji, you know?
They're all black, so that don't matter.
Uh
What make
it does matter. The Polynesian, right?
how?
They're
Yeah,
Austronesian.
but they still black.
No, they aren't black. They aren't black. They're Asian.
And the original Asians were black.
Here we go. How about the Japanese?
The original Japanese, the Ainu people were black.
How about the New Zealanders? I said,
The Maori people were black, yes. And I done talked to them when I went to Australia. The Maori people were black, and they hate white supremacists. I'm telling you from what I know. They hate white supremacists. They talk mad shit about y'all. I've been around them.
I'm not a white supremacist. I think it's
Suspected.
slandering me.
I'm just saying suspected. I don't know if you are or not, but suspected. And even in Australia, you
That's not
call
very kind, is it?
in Australia, you call the Aboriginal people black fellows. So what are you talking about? They ain't black. That's what y'all call them. Y'all call them black fellows, don't you? In Australia, right?
I'm not from Australia, but I'm from New
But you're
Zealand.
close enough. Close enough. You know, y'all close enough, dude.
I've actually never been to Australia.
New Zealand is close enough, sir.
In New Zealand, we just call them natives, right? We don't call them blacks. Black what? What did you say?
And in Australia, you call them black fellows.
Uh, who's you? I just told you I'm from New Zealand. Never been to Australia.
Well, you're a British community. You're the suspected white supremacists. Not saying you are, but I just suspect you could be.
You
Right?
know what? I have to bless, right? But this was a good conversation. I enjoyed our back and forth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
thank
Mm-hmm.
you. See you.
Well, thank you so much. Boy, the suspected white supremacists, boy, they try to play sleight of hand tricks. They're not black, they're Asian. See, they watch the little wordplay, but they're not really African. And I don't know, nobody said anything about African. I said they're black folks. Look, I'm in Fiji right now. If y'all look at these brother family, they got black people over here with big fucking afros, and they're beautiful people, wonderful people over here, wonderful people. If they were to go to the United States, you think they're just the average black person you see back home in the United States, and they know that. Let me get brother Marcel in here. Let me get brother Terrain. Brother Marcel, hop on, sir. Brother Marcel. Brother Marcel, turn your microphone on, sir. Oh, we got some technical difficulties with brother Marcel. I get him back. Um, let's get brother Terrain in here.
What's good, Tariq? How you doing today?
I'm good, brother Terrain. Now, let me ask you, brother Terrain. Now, when these suspected white supremacists start talking about what we would do with reparations money, or we're going to buy Cadillacs, what difference does that make? Go ahead, brother.
You know what? There's always a stereotype that when black people get any amount of money, they're going to squander it. And when
Yeah,
people start talking about that, they don't want to talk about the fact that if you look through European history, basically the whole European history of colonialism and expansion is because Europe couldn't sustain itself and it had to go out and try to find resources either in Africa or India or China or the Americas to basically shore up a lot of their military systems and a lot of their economic systems that weren't sustainable. They don't talk about that though.
right, right. Absolutely. And here's the thing. I won't blame. Thank you, brother Terrain. Here's the thing. I want y'all to know. When these suspected white supremacists start talking about us squandering the money, oh, we give you reparations, you're not financially literate, we can't give it to you because you're not going to know what to do with it. That's horse crap. That is horse crap. They understand if we get what we're supposed to get, we going to do amazing things with the money. See, that's the threat. If we were just going to squander the money, they wouldn't have a problem with that whatsoever. They really wouldn't have a problem with it. They know some of us, we're so resourceful, we get the money that we deserve. Man, we're going to do amazing things with it. There's some of us out here, man, we got business ideas and we're out here making ends meet, putting things together with our limited resources. If we had the proper, equitable leg up that we're supposed to get to fuel some of the endeavors that we're doing, we'll take these things to the moon. And they know this. Let's be very clear. They know that we'll do fly stuff with the resources that we get. That's why there's such a need to deprive us of resources. All right. Let me get one more call. Y'all, I know y'all hear my daughter in the background running. Let me get one more call. I'm about to get in the swimming pool. Yeah. Let me see who we got. Let's get Miss Nikki the God. Yeah, Nikki the God. All right, Miss Nikki, hop on, dear.
Hi, Tariq.
All right. Yeah, how are you, Miss Nikki?
I'm fine. How are you? I just wanted to speak
I'm
on
good.
the subject of the healthcare for undocumented migrants in California. The more I
Yeah,
read into this subject, the more it becomes apparent how diabolical and how much hatred the dominant society has towards foundational Black Americans. All the articles that I've read, particularly about the healthcare system, they already admit that the healthcare system in California is already strained, yet they continue to
yeah,
prioritize these people's needs. So when they give statistics to justify why they're giving these illegal immigrants free healthcare, they use wording that's generally linked to foundational Black Americans, like healthcare disparities and things like that. I also
right.
read about what appeared to be everything I've read appears to be aligned with what we are currently experiencing, such as discrimination in healthcare settings and having difficulty accessing healthcare. Then they go on to mention things like increased number of heart disease, high blood pressure, asthma, diabetes, and such. This is all. These are all of the talking points that seem to mirror off of what the people of our lineage were experiencing prior to them coming into this country. I feel like they are trying to minimize what we are already experiencing, and I also feel like this is an elaborate attempt to deprioritize our reparations claim. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, dear. All right, let's get this is the pragmatic party. What's that?
Hey, how you guys doing? Wow, it's good to talk to y'all. And I want to say a special hi
Yes,
to Marjorie Taylor Greene here, who obviously I don't know if I just got here, so I didn't get to hear her speak, but I'm kind of wondering. Um, I think a UBI, and it's what Martin Luther King presented as the option to deal with poverty. And if you deal with poverty, you're going to lessen the crime rate significantly. Most UBIs cost about $4 trillion that you hear about online, and ours is 246 billion and cost effective in 3 to 5 years to where it doesn't cost the taxpayers any money whatsoever. We need to deal with the rich, we need to deal with the media, and we need to basically not vote for Republicans or Democrats. Nothing personal, Marjorie Taylor Greene, but you can laugh all you want. And yeah, I see you're doing a good job at it. So I wish you all the best of luck, but I hope you'll be looking for a new job after 2024, with all due respect. And if you're interested, you know where I'm at. It's not hard to click on my profile.
all right. Thank you so much. That's Mayo babble, guys. That's just a bunch of Mayo babble. All right, and avoid that. When y'all see that kind of Mayo babble, please avoid that. All right, because that type of Mayo babble, that's time wasting. All right, that's a bunch of time wasting Mayo babble. All right, so that's why I didn't even bite on that. That's Mayo babble to waste time. All right. Anyway, how many folks we got in here? Damn, we almost got 1,000 people in here on this beautiful Saturday. Is it Saturday? Because over here it's Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon over here where I am. Oh my goodness, I'm about to go get in the pool, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, man, y'all go to rootworkstyle.com. That's rootworkstyle.com, ladies and gentlemen, and get your Rootwork deodorant. Bring in that root work for the new year, ladies and gentlemen. Rootworkstyle.com, ladies and gentlemen. Um, should I get one more? Because there's so many people in here. There's so many people in here. Hold on, my wife telling me no. Why are you telling me no? Okay, hold on. My wife is being very mean spirited to me. Say hi, sweetie. Say hi, because it's your birthday. It's my wife's birthday. I wanted everybody to give my lady a birthday shout out. I wanted everybody to give my lady a nice birthday shout out. A fine 37-year-old mom. I said a fine 30-something-year-old mom. Everybody give my fine 30-something-year-old mom.
Happy birthday, ma'am.
What's up, Nicholas?
Happy birthday to your wife, bro.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. So what's on your mind, Nick? How do you feel about reparations, Nicholas?
Oh, it's a good question. I'm not a big fan of it.
Well, now why not?
I just don't think it's going to actually help any issues.
Yeah, it'll help our issues of being deprived of resources
Why are you being deprived of resources right now?
because the United States government for centuries created a system where we were enslaved, and the indebtedness of enslavement has lingered and been placed on us for all of this time, and we've never been compensated or repaired from that.
How much money do you guys want?
We want to start off with 20 trillion.
Okay.
Okay, that's the starting point. We'll
Starting.
start off there.
Where's the ending point?
We'll see. Let's start there. We'll take care of A and B and worry about C and D.
There lies the problem. There's no ending.
Well, is there an ending point to the money given to Native American tribes, the red tribes? What's the ending point?
No, I hear what you're saying totally.
Right.
But
so there's no ending point for them. There's no ending point for them. There shouldn't be an ending point for us. Right?
Okay. So how do you end? Okay, so you just want it to keep on going forever. So everyone pays everyone that is of African descent, or
no?
How do you define like who is a slave and who wasn't?
The foundational Black Americans, the descendants of freedmen. That's a very easy thing to determine. Their census records that are meticulously taken, and we can determine who are the foundational Black Americans who descended from the freedmen.
I can agree with you there.
Right. So yeah, it's going to be it's not going to be a race thing. It's going to be people who descended from slavery. So it's going to be a very specific group of people in America who get the reparations, which is fair. Like Japanese, that was a specific group of people who got repaired for being put in internment camps. No, you didn't have a problem with that, right, Mr. Nicholas?
Are you putting words in my mouth?
No. Well, did you have? But I'm saying the dominant society didn't have a problem with it because they paid them, right?
You talking about the Japanese?
Right.
I don't know enough on that topic to answer that question.
Okay, well, let me educate you. The Japanese during World War II, many Japanese Americans were put in internment camps, and in the 80s, they said, "Hey, that was wrong, and let's repair these people by giving them money in compensation and their descendants," and that's what they did.
Are they still giving them money?
That I don't know. But they were only in those camps for a few years, so I don't know the extent of the payments. I think each family probably got like 20,000, something like that initially. So
I'm open to hear like everything you got to say about like if you make a plan like okay, you said 20 trillion dollars sounds like a lot of money, but maybe it's not. And how many people are we talking about? And then where's the cutoff line and how does that work? Can you explain?
Okay. Well, my thing, we started off and let's calculate how long were we being enslaved? What's the long lasting legacy of it? And just keep paying based on that. But we got to start off.
Do we go after the people that like sold you?
Well, who sold us?
Exactly. Like, do we go after the people that actually like were on the front line of selling slaves?
The front line were the white supremacists. That was the front line. They had the industries. It wasn't. You want to pawn it off on some African chief? We got to understand a lot of the white supremacists came
No,
over.
there's payments going back to different tribes in Africa selling other tribes.
Those nations don't exist no more. They've been colonized by the white supremacists. So it all goes back to the white supremacists.
So there's a bunch of white supremacists over there right now.
Well, yeah, they've colonized all of those nations over there. They don't even exist. Those nations don't exist. Britain, France, all of them colonized them.
Okay, so they're all colonized by white supremacists right now.
Like, sir, for example, if there's if a business does something If a business did something in 1950 to somebody, and
I'm
then
just
they
saying.
merged,
I'm
and,
just
and,
saying. Like, yeah, I agree with you, but I
and
mean,
then hold
obviously,
on,
go
slow
after
down, slow
people.
down, slow down, slow down, and then that business merged with the larger conglomerate. It's the larger conglomerate that's responsible. All right, you got to understand that, right? The larger conglomerate is now responsible. So Europe colonized all of Africa, sir. So they're responsible, because none of those African nations don't exist no more that so-called sold us, and only a handful of us were brought over directly from Africa. There were already black people here, but that's another the story. But it was the white supremacists who orchestrated all of it. They had the whole slave trade transatlantic industry going, and the United States government was the one that kept us in it. We couldn't
I
get out of
don't
it.
disagree. I think they were supremacy, and I think they were in a business transaction back then.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't think those countries or tribes are around anymore, so you can't find them.
Right. But the United States government is still here. You understand? And the United States government kept us
Oh yeah, I
enslaved.
see where you're going.
You see where I'm going? We couldn't get out of slavery because of the United States government. The United States government had people tracking us when we tried to get our freedom and bringing us back, and people abusing us. And the United States government said it was okay for us to be killed, raped, abused when we
I
went
know,
down.
I know, I
Right.
know.
The
So
United States government spent millions of dollars
where did
fighting runaways down in Florida to
yeah,
enslave us. So,
I know. But then we had a civil war, which
right.
I mean it
Which did
ended
what? Which
slavery.
which did what? Which
It
did what?
ended slavery.
And sir, why did it end slavery?
I mean it actually ended slavery, the Civil War.
Well, why
Where
did it? Why
you
did
can you can say everything you want about the actual like causes of the Civil War, but it actually ended slavery.
and you know why it ended
And
slavery?
there was racism after that, and we've come a long way since then. It's been
But
a
but
progression.
but sir, when we ended slavery, and Abraham Lincoln said himself, if it weren't for the freedmen fighting, the North wouldn't have won the war. It was black people who were participating in the Civil War that
Oh,
helped
for
stop
sure.
slavery.
Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
so
And
let's
I
get that.
mean,
Okay,
Abraham Lincoln was, I mean, he had a lot of flaws, but I think he was a good president.
I won't even say that because he was going to try to send black people to Panama and to the Congo. So again, he did what was necessary to keep the Union together. And
Once
right,
look back,
so he wasn't a big fan of black folks. He believed in white supremacy, his own words. And
well, yeah, okay. So
but
you
again,
just want, so
after
I,
slavery, we didn't get
where do
anything.
we go? Where do we go after reparations? How do we heal? Do we just stop talking about race, or do we always talk about race?
Well, the thing is, reparations isn't to heal you of your racism. Reparations is to give us what's owed to us. See, people
No, I
want to make
understand. I
people
understand.
y'all want to make reparations a magic beanstalk, like it's supposed to
No,
cure.
no, I'm
No,
just
no, no,
thinking
no.
forward, and I'm trying to understand like where does this go? Do we always
It,
like as a human people, do we always just talk about race and our
that's
past, or do we like forget
that's
about race?
well, your community created systematic white supremacy, so that's a community
No,
conversation over there.
but sir, I'm looking forward. Like, what's your vision going forward?
Sir, as a victim of white supremacy, I just need to be compensated for the
Okay,
enslavement of my people and the debt that has incurred has been
sure.
indebted unto me. Okay, if y'all want, if
I'm not
you want to talk about
disagreeing with you on that.
right, but the maintenance of white supremacy and the
But
dismantling of it, that's a conversation that your community should have because you are in the oppressor
well,
class.
I'm actually I don't believe in like racial communities. I think we should get beyond race because that's a divisive topic.
But your
Although,
community
yeah,
created, okay, but your community
okay,
created racial
yeah,
communities.
I mean that's the past, but what's the future?
No, how is
Is
it the
this,
past? It's not the
oh, is
past.
this like
The
in
community,
your vision?
no,
Is this
no, no, the communities are still racialized, and communities are still separated on racial lines because of the dominant society. That's not the past. That's right now, sir.
but every culture does that.
No, they don't. No, they
Okay,
don't.
so what's Chinatown in LA?
Well, why is there a Chinatown?
Because races stick together pretty much
No,
when
because
they're
you made them have a Chinatown because you wouldn't let them into White Town.
okay. So
That's what it is, because you wouldn't let them into your communities.
okay. So the
Right?
Chinese just didn't
Right.
they didn't want to stick together. They just
No, you
we
created
made them.
community. No, you created communities for them. You would not let them into your
So
community.
so the Chinese would have just like spread out and not talked to other Chinese people that were similar.
Sir, you were very oppressive to them as well. You wouldn't. There was a old saying: "You don't have a Chinaman's chance in hell." You were very oppressive to Chinese people too.
Yeah,
So
we were. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So you didn't allow them into your
People in the
community.
past were. I'm not saying we now, but
Yeah,
people in the past were.
well, you still somewhat, and that's something. I mean, I'm not caping for them, because see, you a lot of times y'all let them be honorary white, so I'm not caping for them. But
How do you think now that, like, if you're talking to me in general, like how do you think I'm oppressing a Chinese person?
well, that's something. Again, I don't have the cape on for them. That's something that they would have to deal with, or I have to talk to you about. If they don't feel oppressed, that's
See,
fine.
we're talking past stuff, and I'm fine to agree with you on a lot of those things.
Right.
But I'm in future, like at some point, everyone has to kind of forget about the past because everyone always has.
Well, how come y'all don't forget about the past?
How long does it take?
How come you guys have Civil War reenactments in your community? You don't forget about the past.
My community, no, I don't have civil
Why do y'all
war.
have stuff like Remember the Alamo?
I don't have that in my community, sir.
You do, sir. Y'all do have that. In the white community, you do have
Well,
that.
you're generalizing me, and I don't actually.
Yeah, because we're having a general conversation. So I am generalizing you, sir, because generally people
Well, I
in the
think
white
generalizing
society,
people is wrong.
people in the general white society, they have the Remember the Alamo, remember 9/11, never forget. So yeah, y'all don't forget nothing at all.
Everyone does. Do you think?
No, they
Do
don't.
you think? Oh, do you think Europe and Africa, Asia? Do you think they're all pissed off about the Mongols still?
Sir, that's so irrelevant. What did the Mongols do to them?
They raped, pillaged, and conquered like all of that continent.
Who, the Mongols raped and pillaged Europe?
Yeah, Europe, Asia, part of Africa.
When did the Mongols rape and pillage Europe?
I'll have to look up the timelines, but that's a known fact.
Okay. Well, sir, I don't know what year. You haven't given me a year, so I can't even comment on that,
All
sir.
right, I'll look it up right now for you.
Yes, yes, indeed. And yeah, the dominant society, you guys don't forget anything. Y'all remember when there's an oppressive act or anything that horrible happened, you guys remember. You don't never forget. And you live in the past all the time, right? Your community, Mr. Nicholas, I think he's looking something up right now. All right. Mr. Nicholas, come on back. Okay, we
Yeah,
don't.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
But again, Mr. Nicholas, as far as remembering, your community remember stuff. Y'all never forget. Why do you think so many of your people in your community have Confederate monuments all over the country? Why do y'all have those, sir? Mr. Nicholas? Mr. Nicholas?
Yeah, I've never seen a Confederate monument, so can you
Okay,
be
so that's okay.
specific, sir?
Sir, are you now, if you engage in a bad faith argument like that, that cheapens your narrative. If you say you've never seen a Confederate monument, so now you're talking in bad faith, sir.
I don't look in the past. I'm not thinking about the
Sir,
Confederates. They
sir,
lost, and that's a good thing.
we keep talking about you on a personal level. I'm talking about your community.
Well, then you're generalizing that. I think that's wrong.
Right,
I don't
because
think we should talk about races anymore. I think that's irrelevant. I
well,
think we should be
but
talking
your
about
community,
class. I think
okay,
we should be talking about
but your
money, like the richest people.
And what you're doing is another form of white supremacy, which is denial of racism. See, that contributes to it. That right there is a form of systematic racism, the denial of white supremacy. Hey, let's not talk about it when we're on the hot seat, yet you have no problem with your community practicing it. And you're saying that it's general. It's not general. We're under a system of white supremacy and somebody's practicing it. You're saying you're not doing it, but somebody's doing it, and you're not letting us know who. And by telling us it doesn't exist, and we know it exists,
All right. No, I
is,
already agreed on you
is
about the reparations.
right. Denial of white supremacy is maintenance of it. Okay.
All right. Mongolia, when they took over everything, was 1206.
Okay. You're talking about, is that Genghis Khan and those people, or is it somebody
Yes,
else?
sir. Yes, it is.
Genghis Khan. Okay. Well, the thing is, at that time, Europe was very weak at that time, and you had the Moors, you had black people who dominated
So,
part.
so they weren't white supremacists back then.
No, they weren't. No, there was no white supremacy back then, and that was one of the reasons why they had to
So
protect.
it was Mongolian supremacy.
No, because the Mongolians weren't dominating the world. They weren't dominating
So,
the world
so
because
there was
also
no
at the
supremacy
time,
on
at
any
the,
race.
no, because at the time you had black people dominating parts of Europe too,
So
called the
can only white
Moors.
people be white supremacists, or is
Yes,
there other supremacy?
there's only one for you. The term. Look at the word supreme. There can only be one supreme by definition. That's
Well, then you're generalizing my race, and I think that's not not good.
what you mean. I'm generalizing your race. Y'all came up with the
So
term.
I didn't. No, I don't think that's right. I think anyone can be supreme over other people
No, they
if
can't.
they're
Not systematically.
raping and pillaging other
Not
countries.
systematically. Not systematically. They can't. When we say white supremacy, that's a system that's global. What other global system of supremacy is bigger than white supremacy?
All right, what's your vision for the future? I want to hear it.
To replace the system of white supremacy with justice. That's my vision. Wouldn't that be
I know,
great?
but that's with justice. Okay, so tell me what it looks like.
Justice means, as our good brother Neil Fuller says, guaranteeing that nobody's mistreated and guaranteeing that those who need the most constructive help gets the most constructive help. And that brings us to reparations, right?
I agree with you on that aspect. I just don't think it's. I think all races need that.
Right. Okay. That's why it's justice. So anybody who needs, everybody should get the most constructive help. Those who need the most constructive help get the most constructive help. And the people in need of that right now are black people, particularly foundational black Americans who endured slavery, right?
What do you think about the open borders right now?
Not a fan of them. Not a fan of it at all. They should close the borders. All of our resources are going to
I
immigrant
agree.
groups, and that money should be going to foundational black Americans,
I
right?
think I agree with you 100%. I think why are we hiring like 70,000 IRS agents and not hiring 70,000 border patrol people? And we can hire predominantly, if you want, black people.
Or you can just give us a reparations check. We don't have to do all of this old bullshit. Just give us a
I'm
check.
just saying, like, no, I agree with you. I think